Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John with Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live on Theta TV and my Theta TV channels, Eureka John, I believe, Theta TV, theta.tv/channel/Eureka John. I don't even know what my channel address is. So yeah, I'm a real good promoter. It is 5:25 in the morning on June 11th, 2021, and it's Friday, man. Working for Friday. Gotta get up and go to work. It's the last day of the week, man. Gotta make that paycheck. So yes, I'm happy it's the end of the week. And this is episode 171, man. It's starting to add up. So, all right, cool. There's actually a few more episodes in that. I kind of experimented with doing a lunchtime show, and it just was really tough and stressful to do. So I decided not to do that because I was doing that at work. Anyway, so let's get on to some of the CoinGecko and see what's going on in this crypto world. This is my video blog, and I'm just basically just talking daily about things that I learned in the crypto world. It's totally my opinion, and I'm not shilling anything because I'm not sponsored by anybody. So anything I say is just stuff I find out and stuff like that. And yeah, so not fact for sure, and I'm not your advisor and I'm not your teacher, man, so keep that in mind. And some of my opinions change daily, so don't even think that I think that I'm right. So hey, what's up, Kalunda? How you doing, man? Nice to see you on here. I don't think I've seen you on this show, so welcome. Anyway, let's get over here to CoinGecko and see what the deal is going on. We have Bitcoin. Hold on, let me refresh this page because things can change. Like yesterday, Bitcoin went down by $500 in just like 30 seconds of talking. Well, I think it's a beautiful thing about it. But, you know, okay, so Bitcoin's at $37,571.51. Down 3.2 from yesterday. All right, so it's still sticking around that mid to high 30,000 range. Ethereum, 2486, 2484.10, and Tether, $1. Wow, man, balling with that extra penny there over $1. Binance Coin, 364.10. Cardano, $1.53. The Doge, 32 cents. Man, you know, at least the Doge is pretty much organic. It's been around for quite a while, a lot of years, since like 2014, I think. I don't know. Yeah, even the founder, Jackson Palmer, and the other guy, I feel bad for the other guy. Nobody ever remembers his name. But they're not involved in the community, just kept it going for the longest time. So Doge is more than just Elon Musk pumping it. As much as it is a meme coin and Shiba Inu and all this stuff, you know, if it's not for me. Dollar cost average, I try to focus on fundamentals and things that I think will be revolutionary in changing the internet landscape and stuff like that. And I'm in it for the long game, man. But you know, I'm not gonna piss all over people. I'm not gonna piss on the dog because if that's to me is like that's a game, you know, and you have to go into it knowing that it's a game. And if that's not something that you want to jump into as a game, as a speculation game, a trading game, then more power to you, man, if that's your thing. To me, that's a little too stressful, and that's why I don't trade and speculate. But hey, man, if that's something you want to do, you want to jump into the meme coin trading game with absolutely no purpose or value or whatsoever, but aside from hype and speculation, and you know how to surf that hype and speculation wave pretty well, then hey, that's a talent. So XRP, 87 cents. USD coin, again, balling with that extra penny on the stable coin. Polkadot, 22.78. Uniswap, 23.05. Litecoin, 172.22, has been staying right around the 170 something range. Bitcoin Cash, 609.46. Solana, 39.71. I'm thinking I'm going to be jumping in this Solana game and investing in Solana. The more I hear about Solana, okay, Ethereum right now is at a special little place, a happy place, and it's you know, it's shedding itself with some of those gas fee issues. The scalability is coming up with Ethereum 2.0. The institutional world is jumping into Ethereum. So there's gonna be a lot of changes coming with Ethereum, and I think Ethereum will evolve into something else. And I think Solana may kind of just shimmy on into the position where Ethereum is, handling a lot of the retail type of customers and small transaction type of situations, and DeFi and stuff like that. So just my thoughts on it, but I think there's going to be a big place for Solana. I don't think there's such a thing as an Ethereum killer. I think Ethereum will evolve into something new. Chainlink 2319, Binance US dollars, $1. Wow. ICP Clown Coin down to 6703. I am not sad about this. ICP Coin is a total poser. Insane Clown Posse. You have to basically be a fan of Insane Clown Posse to like this coin. It is an imposter. It's a poser. They tried to shove it on us. It immediately came out in Coinbase and Binance. It's basically a permission network. It's like it has no organicness to it whatsoever. It just came out, got shoved out on us. And then they said, oh, well, you don't need to use all these other apps that have grown organically because it's available on the supercomputer, but you have to register to use a supercomputer. And it's just like, yeah, that's paving the way to totalitarianism. And in order to get anything done on the internet, you have to basically be approved by this ICP supercomputer. It's Big Brother in a nutshell right there. No. I'm not going to be having it. So I'm happy to see it going down. A lot of people are pissed. They've lost a lot of money and they're screaming scam all over their Twitter, and rightfully so. It's like in the 80s, I'm old enough to remember the 80s, and the 80s came out, Coca-Cola, everybody loved Coca-Cola back then, before it was made of high fructose corn syrup, and they came out with this new Coke, and they're like, oh wow, we're going to revolutionize the way Coke. It's like trying to fix something that's not broken. And they came out with new Coke, and it was a total flop. Everybody hated new Coke. They hated the way it looked, the way it tasted, and everything like that. And then so they brought back Coca-Cola Classic. Oh yeah, well yeah, you don't like the new Coke, so here's Coca-Cola Classic, and then more people bought Coca-Cola Classic than new Coke, and then end up just new Coke just kind of slowly backed off the stage. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that tangent. I think I'm just talking about this poser here, ICP token. Anyway, Polygon Matic, $1.38, is doing very well. Layer 2 solutions are going to be doing very well for Ethereum as well. And all Layer 2 solutions, I think right now, are going to be a great investment. And Layer 2 summer is coming, and Layer 2 DeFi summer. It's a lot of people, college kids or whoever, just had like $100 to play with, couldn't really do anything with on Ethereum because all these smart contracts will cost you $100 just to play with $100. So this kind of allows people to do stuff like that, and I think that's great. With Arbitrum, Optimism, Matic, even Loopring and stuff like that in the mix, it's allowing a lot of people who normally wouldn't get to play around on the Ethereum platform the ability to do so with Layer 2. And with Arbitrum, I believe, is partnering with KuCoin to allow fiat dollar bills direct to Layer 2, so you don't even have to mess with Ethereum Layer 1 protocol. So you can go straight to Layer 2 and have the scalability and the low transaction fees and all that type of stuff, and do everything to your heart's delight in that DeFi playground without having to even mess with Layer 1. And so a lot of that type of stuff is happening now. So I think that's pretty cool, man. Theta Network, $8.60. Waiting for June 30th to come up, and a lot of the flip will be, the switch will be flipped. The flip will be switched. Okay, whatever, whatever works for you. And then, so let's go on down here. And I know that T-Fuel is right down here in 47, and that is the utility token for the Theta Network. So Theta Network has the Theta Governance token, and they have the T-Fuel utility token, and that is the token that you would be paid for running a Theta Edge node and for broadcasting and watching videos, and then running, so say a company like Netflix or YouTube or any type of content delivery network would have to pay the Theta Network and by buying the T-Fuel, and they have to pay T-Fuel in order to use Theta's decentralized streaming service. And for them, that's a lot cheaper than having to deal with all this infrastructure and bottleneck issues that they have to deal with. So they would rather buy T fuel, and that T fuel basically gets distributed out to everybody in the Theta community by the people running their edge nodes and watching the programs and all that type of stuff. So it's kind of a feedback loop, I guess. Is that what you call it? Anyway, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, let's go to what I wanted to cover in this episode this morning. I read this article, and I see this word thrown around. Hold on, let me take a bite of my apple. Okay. It's word composability thrown around. The true power of DeFi composability. What is composability? I've learned so many words this year. I feel like crypto world has just basically been this, like, opened up this entirely new language. And it's a new language. When I first got into the crypto world and got interested in cryptocurrency, I would put on like the Crypto 101 podcast or something on Spotify when I would go running or whatever I would do, driving. And I was not able to understand jack squat. I didn't know what KYC was, what AML was. I didn't know what DeFi was, oracles. All this stuff has slowly been coming together for me. So if you're just now getting into crypto and you don't understand jack squat about anything, and you're just like, what the hell are they talking about? Just a bunch of geeks, god dang geeks, nerds, and they're thinking. So don't worry, it'll come and you'll be able to start understanding after a while. It's just like learning a new language. You have to immerse yourself in it. And then you'll have, I haven't really had any one aha moment or eureka moment. I haven't really had any one eureka moment, but I've had several eureka moments, and I'm just like, oh, that's what they're talking about. And this is amazing. DeFi, allows people to circumvent the credit system to where you don't have to go basically grovel to some credit card company, and you no longer care about your credit score updates that come in your email. I got an email from Credit Karma this morning telling me that my credit score has changed. You know what? I don't care. My credit score does not bother me one way or another because I have DeFi. And so, yeah, screw you and your credit score updates. I don't need your credit score updates. So anyway, there's a little disclaimer. It's an article made for educational purposes that does not constitute financial advice or trading advice. Past performance does not indicate future results. Okay, great. All right. Poll 100 crypto enthusiasts. What is the most interesting and compelling part about DeFi? And you get a slew of answers. Some will say decentralized. We're imagining the financial system without any intermediaries. What I was just talking about is the credit system, freeing ourselves of relying on third parties to own our data and our money. Yes, that is amazing. And then when that light switch went on for me, I was just absolutely astounded, and I became the biggest fan of crypto and everything that's going on now. And not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin maxis, God, man, they irritate me because they're so small-minded, and it's like they're so close to being set free from a lot of these systems, but they're just so focused only on Bitcoin that they can't understand that there is other technology out there that is also freeing. That's how religions start, So, anyway, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. Some will say it's global nature because of the lack of intermediaries. We're free to send money and to receive money from anyone in the world, creating a truly global economy that the internet imagined nearly 50 years ago. Isn't that what religion is the taking, what spirituality is the ability for a human to have direct contact with God. And then religion forms because they start shoving all these intermediaries in there. And then suddenly, you have to have all these qualifications and intermediaries and all these people to communicate for you because you're not adequate enough. You see a lot of these eureka moments and new religions and faiths being born. Once those intermediaries are being pulled away, then you have direct communication with the divine. Some people compare this to the current advent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and stuff like that. They say, and they're taking away the intermediaries, so every human being is absolutely empowered to as much as they are willing to allow themselves to be empowered by, and with no help from anybody else, they don't need the intermediaries. So Anyway, for me, this article, I'm going back to the article, I kind of went off on a tangent there. So for me, the most interesting thing is the composability of decentralized finance apps. Composability, I've mentioned the word a ton on several of my blog posts. This is Jimmy Chang speaking. Now it's time to dedicate some time into digging what it means. So thank you, Jimmy Chang, because I didn't know what composability is. I'm just kind of sitting here listening to like Bankless podcasts and they're mentioning composability. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right, great. And then, so composability is a system design principle that deals with the interrelationships of components. A highly composable system provides components that can be selected and assembled in various combinations to satisfy specific user requirements. What in the hell was he talking about? That's a mouthful. Anyway, a bit dense in technical language, but a composable system is one that is formed by parts that can interoperate with another. And then there's a picture of Legos. Another big word, parts that can openly communicate with one another across different systems and that can be swapped in and out. So Legos. Composability in DeFi, decentralized finance without the intermediary, with no need for a bank or credit system, is the ability for applications and protocols to interact with one another in a permissionless way. So you don't need permission from anybody. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to register. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is have a wallet for your crypto to be put in and to connect. They're constant. So these applications are constantly talking to one another and leveraging each other's code and therefore each other's utility. So you can have several different codes. Like Uber actually has composability because you have a GPS app, you have a transaction app, you have like a profile type of app, and all those are put together in some form and using composability to create the Uber app, and they're all working together and plugging into each other. As a result of open source nature of DeFi, these apps are leveraging one another to create a synergistic effect. There's another one of those corporate words. I believe in our company's synergy. Anyway, it used to be the boardroom with the people in the ties and all that stuff. Now it's just guys with V-neck t-shirts and some trendy skateboard-looking like shoe and trying to be casual, but they're billionaires. Anyway, so hey, what's up, Ingari Patrick? Nice to see you on here this morning. I appreciate you jumping on. I'll give you one of these little opening day crates that they give us to give away. Anyway, so now that we know that CEOs are trying to be hip and fit in with the rest of us and no longer wear the suit and ties that they did in the 80s, because the CEOs now are basically Gen Xers, and I'm a Gen Xer, and we're a weird generation, man. But we're like that middle child, angry middle child, but middle child. Building on our Legos analogy, DeFi apps are essentially money Legos. You can pick and choose which DeFi app to combine together to form a brand new financial product. Because of this, Ethereum is often called the infinite machine because of its blank canvas with infinite possibilities, because of the composability of DeFi apps. Terra Luna is a DeFi platform, and it says the money Legos of DeFi are powerful, introducing novel mechanisms for yield extraction, complex derivatives, and composable financial engineering. But how the Legos interact is confusing, even to the degens. DeFi is complex. Actually, it's not that complex once you get it. Let me see here. Let me show you this book. Speaking of the infinite machine, this is a really good book. I would highly recommend reading it. It's by Camilo Russo of The Defiant. The Defiant is a really good DeFi media outlet as well. If you want some really good information on all the updates, and they have a really good DeFi 101 section on their website and stuff like that. You got to pay for it, I think, but I'm a subscriber and I think it's worth it. So I'm not shilling out. They don't pay me anything. I just like it. So it's taught me a lot. So I use Defiant, Decrypt Daily. What other media outlets do I use? I listen to Bankless podcasts, and I'm subscribed to Bankless as well. I originally got started with Digital Asset News YouTuber, and Dan Teaches Crypto. And let me think. I don't know, there's a few others as far as educational resources and how I've learned. Finematics is a really good one too on YouTube, Finematics, and he has his own website with all the videos there, and that's a great DeFi teacher. So yeah, if you want to learn about those are amazing outlets, especially Finematics. And if you're okay with the French accent, that's pretty thick. Yeah, that's a really good website. Okay, so the power of open. I'm going back to the article with Jimmy Chang here. I don't know who Jimmy Chang is. I just think it's a great article. Okay, before we dive straight into DeFi's composability, I want to briefly talk about why being open is so powerful. Think of the world we live in now, for which for the most part is built by Web 2 companies with a walled garden mindset. These companies like the Googles, Facebooks, PayPals, they fight hard for your attention. They pour billions of dollars to get you to sign up on their platform, so they're not going to let you go easily. They built a whole ecosystem of applications to keep you in their network. You want money? You want to send money? Use Venmo. All your friends are on there. Oh, by the way, you can't send money to people outside of our closed network. So no Cash Apps or Zells. Just tell your friends to join PayPal. And by the way, here's a slew of other services that we offer you too. Keep it all in the company store, baby. You want to share a meme? It's so easy to do on Instagram. Just DM your friend. If they're not on Instagram, tell them to join. Otherwise, you'll have to screenshot this meme and send it to them somewhere else. Every new social media platform is a brand new social graph. You can't bring your followers and connections to another app. Every new marketplace is a new cold start problem of finding critical mass of buyers and sellers. And it's because things are closed off. No one wants to share their users. Now imagine if things were open. You could send your TikToks to your Instagram friends, and you could pay people on whatever wallet they choose and whatever currency through whatever network. Zooming outside of software, imagine instead of Uber and Lyft having separate drivers and DoorDash and Postmates having separate delivery folk, there was a global pool of people going from point A to point B, and apps could place products that move from A to B on this global pool of transportation, bidding for the best price. Now, I just went over Fetch AI. And Fetch AI kind of does this. It has a global pool and it eliminates these middlemen of Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. So you wouldn't even have those. It just has these agents talking to each other on a global blockchain system using artificial intelligence and agents. And it's a pretty crazy type of application. But if it catches on, it has a lot of both positive and negative implications. But that's a whole other subject. Anyway, yeah, so you get the picture on this. Instead of having these siloed walled gardens of Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, you would have everybody here, and then all these being able to connect to the same pool of people. This worked to an extent in the early days of Web 2 social platforms. What did? Yes. Okay, so we played games like Words with Friends and Farmville. I remember both. Yeah, I played both. And all of our Facebook friends were there. And I remember when I was really active on Facebook too. Now it just turned into complete crap. But anyway, you could share moments of these games onto Twitter, and you could even natively share Instagram photos on Twitter. A global feed of content and friends that could interoperate anywhere. Then Facebook realized they were better off making money through ads to a captive user base and shut off their API, preventing other apps from leveraging its rich social graph. And that must be when Mark Zuckerberg died and the lizard person took his place and put on that mask. Let's frame it another way. Imagine an open network like GPS was built by private Web 2 companies. You get GPS with your iPhone from Apple satellites, but its coverage is different based on your monthly cell phone plan. Each company had their own GPS that only worked with their own products. So DeFi is open finance. The beauty of DeFi is the new crop of insane apps that leverage multiple apps into a brand new, never before seen financial product. And for example, Yearn Finance, YFI token, if you were around last summer, you saw it go from just a few dollars all the way up to like $30,000 or $40,000, and you were just like, what in the heck? And you thought it was a scam and everything like that. Well, Yearn Finance is legit. It's also Yearn is an auto investment product. People park their money in Yearn for yield. In the back end, Yearn uses this portfolio, so they lock up their money. Yearn uses this portfolio and places that into other DeFi protocols to generate that yield, and automatically Yearn will bounce around between DeFi protocols and pass your money back and forth between all these protocols looking for the best APY yield. And it will do that completely automatically for you. So you don't have to constantly be on your computer trying to figure out which place to put your money. Yearn places money into lending protocols like Compound, liquidity pools like SushiSwap or Curve, and it essentially abstracts the investment and optimal rebalancing of these other financial products. So it uses Composability, and it uses all these other DeFi apps like Compound and Aave and Sushi, Swap, and Curve, and it kind of it blends all these in to find the best one for you. And so that is Composability. It's using DeFi Legos, using all these completely unassociated apps for its benefit, because it's open source, and and Web 2 doesn't provide this. Yeah, sure, all these separate companies are not going to want to work with their competitors in that way. Now there's Alchemix, builds on top of Yearn. I'm going to be jumping into Alchemix, actually. I planned on doing that this weekend. It places money into Yearn to earn a yield, and while the capital is earning yield, Alchemix allows people to take a loan out against the allocated capital as collateral. Instead of paying off the loan, Alchemix uses the yield from Earn to pay off the principal from plus interest. Mind blown. So that's an entire other level. So Alchemix leverages yield to pay off its own loan, and so you don't even have to pay off the loan. It automatically gets paid off, and in a way you're kind of paid to borrow. So it's just insane. Mind blowing. And then once I figured out what that was, and I just figured it out this week, like I said, this weekend I'm going to be jumping into Alchemix and kind of reallocating some things. I'm going to kind of get out of some of these smaller crappy projects. Not even really crappy, but just I'm trying to diversification is great. Hey, how you doing, Andy Panda? Nice to see you back on here. Diversification is great for people who are just getting into something and they might not be fully educated on a lot of stuff. But the more educated that you get, the less diversified and the more focused you should become. So it's kind of a graph over here, and then at some point they intersect, right? So diversification over here when you're first getting into something, and then time right here. Okay, when you're first getting into something, diversification should be way up here, because you don't really know. You kind of just like throwing a bunch of crap on the wall and seeing what sticks, right? And then the more you learn, then you kind of learn exactly where to throw that crap. And then it kind of goes up to a point, and at some point they meet. They're about 50-50, but then you start becoming laser focused. And then you know exactly where to take that little nugget, that little turd nugget, and pull it back in your slingshot. You're like, I'm going to shoot that little turd nugget right there. Yeah, I'm going to get some real good benefit from that. Okay, that turd nugget just made my day. So, how about Ribbon Finance? The Theta Vault it's Theta Vault, not Theta TV, runs a covered call strategy. Typically in a covered call, you have to hold the underlying asset, not doing much with it other than holding. With Ribbon, its vault can also lend out the underlying collateral on another protocol like Compound and generate a yield. So you're writing calls and generating lending yield on underlying assets. Double mind blown. Okay, man, that's over my head. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I just kind of read that like a robot. So anyway, the point being, there's so many more instances of absurdly awesome strategies that can be done with DeFi because of composability, being able to take all these apps and then kind of leverage another app. And you're saying, you know what, this app over here does this, and if I were to write my own app and use that, but then with the result of that, I could gain a whole lot more money by combining these two and then putting my own tweak on it. And so it kind of, everybody in DeFi is creating these Lego pieces, and they're all sometimes intentional, sometimes not. But the point is it's all organic, and it kind of brings me back to the very beginning with that whole ICP clown token. That's not organic, and even meme coins right now, some of them have value because it's organic, and people are drawn and attracted to an organic nature. And when New Coke came out versus the original Coke, that was not organic and nobody liked it. You can't shove things on people just because you're rich and powerful or have done something in the past that's successful. Doesn't mean you'll be successful a second time with the same idea, or just because you're resting on your laurels. Organic nature comes out of nowhere. You never know where it's going to come out of. And that is the beauty of our human experience and of this life, is you can't manufacture success. It comes out of the most ridiculous, absurd places. And, to be able to be aware and watch for that, and just, be able to, kind of let your mind be at rest and pay attention to the world around you. Meditate in a way. And the way, a lot of it is meditation, to be able to quiet your mind enough to be able to see the organic nature of everything around you. Then you can spot early a lot of these things growing organically that will become the next paradigm shift. Okay, so anyway, back to DeFi. There's so many more instances of absurdly awesome strategies that can be done with DeFi because of composability. Staking token and then using that collateral to take out a loan. Adding liquidity to a DEX and using that liquidity to stake into another protocol to earn a yield. Lending out a token and taking out the same token as a loan. Basically multiplying the access to the capital you have. Multiplicative yield from the same underlying asset. Pretty insane stuff. And more use cases popping up every day. That's the power of composability, infinite access to innovation from thousands of insanely smart developers. And that got me right at 30 minutes. That's exactly where I wanted to be. I tried to keep these to 30 minutes. So composability, that's the word of the day. I learned this word this week. I'm always constantly learning in this crypto space, and that is the entire point of this show, to track this learning progress, and I love it. I feel like since October 24th, 2020, I've come a long way with learning a lot of this stuff, and I've given this show as a purposeful kick in my butt every single day to discipline and to do this. And I want to make this my career. This is what I want to do, and I have become laser focused in that way. And it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of headaches, and a lot of imposter syndrome, and me telling myself that this is all ego driven and that I've glorified myself, and everything like that. All the negative craps, it bombards me every single day, but I have to push that aside and keep going if this is what I want to do for my daily career in life. And it is. So, yes. So anyway, a new word done today, and hopefully you can go on your day with a new word definition in your head, and you can start thinking about composability and how it could possibly work into your financial space or life in general. All right, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.